And you got the baby face out today,
I
girl.
I do.
Okay.
You just know, like your facial hair just ever gets so like scratchy
Yeah.
that I just want to be completely gone off my face. But then I look then I'm like,
She's like, she got that. When can I see
look.
you?
I got too much
Again.
lips to be completely bare skin, so you know. Hey community, here's what's brewing today.
MLK Day.
Drag Race recap.
And Ask Yo Aunteas, they ain't jacked. So get your cups ready for Minority Report.
You stupid.
Hey, welcome to Minority Report. It's Auntie Jerrell.
It's Auntie Dwan.
And Auntie Jerrell.
Hey, with the baby face.
Hey, she had to. Now that she got rid of COVID. Now she had to like get all up.
I'm glad to see your face. I'm glad you're alive and well, boo.
Girl, she felt like a whole new person. Like
that last episode, that was a struggle. She was like, she was almost as bad as the first 15 minutes of the husband's episode.
But no lie though. No lie. Like honestly, I had forgot all about the episode because when I tell you, like, I was on autopilot. Jesus took the wheel. I was like, we here.
You still have me cracking up though.
I totally forgot that I said something about Britney Spears. When I told you, I was like,
I heard that back. I heard it when I edited it. I heard it when I edited the YouTube. I heard it when I did the clip. I died every single time because that shit was so true and so funny, man.
Look, hey, that cold medicine ain't no joke. Okay, look. But real talk though, I feel like I'm finally like I am now celebrating like 2022, because I ended last year with COVID and began the year with COVID, so like it just felt like one whole thing. So she ready to. Low key, y'all, that I got these antibodies, I'm ready to do bald-headed hoe shit, though. I ain't gonna lie. Part of me is like, well, what now, bitch?
Can't tell me shit now. Can't tell me shit.
Look, you better be careful because there are these things called variants out there. So you might have antibodies for one, but don't be going out there acting a fool. And then next week episode, she up there like antibody. You gonna get bodied.
Girl, get the body. Get the body. All my ladies on the floor. All my ladies on the floor. Woo, it's good. Go get that Beyonce variant.
For real though. The BDay Variant. That's what we don't call it.
That's what you got this year. You got the BDay Variant.
The BDay.
And Fizz never tested positive the whole time.
Never, not a single time.
Wow.
Yeah, his body.
That's great.
Body strong like oak.
So look.
Yeah. Well, we are glad you're alive and well, boo.
Yes.
But no, I'm just excited to finally start the year and finally get my resolutions rolling.
What's your resolutions this year?
Honestly, I really don't have much outside of traveling. I do want to travel.
Yeah.
But after having COVID, I'm like, we're going to talk about that one.
Yeah.
But I think the only other one that I really want to is I really want to focus on my career. Now having this new job at Amazon, I really want to just hit the ground running. I want to blow their wigs back, and then also I want to start being more healthier. Not last year, I was focused on my health. And I really want to take it to the next level. So I want to start being physically more, aware, because I realize how when I physically feel good, I also mentally feel good. Yeah. So, I'm really just trying to.
They say that.
I do.
They say that or whatever.
They say that. But it feels good to be laying on the sofa eating potato chips watching Netflix. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
Let me tell you,
like if I have to think about doing this, or just
you doing this.
look, it's how she picks up. It's how she dips the chip. Curl.
Curl.
Curl girl.
But y'all, real talk though, I gained 3 pounds with COVID. Everyone talking about how you like, oh, you need to make sure you eat. You need to take shape. I ate the house down, bitch. The house down.
Look, she got bite marks all on the marble, on the side of the walls.
I mean, I was just eating. It was a lot. It was a lot.
Hey.
So, yeah.
You said if I'm gonna go out here, I ain't gonna go out of here hungry.
Yes.
Look, the reason she got that resolution isn't because she wants to be healthy in spirit. She's like, she pissed off that she gained them 3 pounds. And she like everybody was losing weight and I'm gaining weight. This bitch, this COVID is fucking me up on the way in and coming out.
I said, what's wrong with me? I can't even COVID right. I'm like, what is wrong with me?
That's funny. Dewan, do you have any resolutions for the year?
No.
She said that with the quickness too. She said, no.
I ain't playing that game.
But you know what? I'm not surprised though, because you don't wait to live. You just stay living. You're like, I want to do something. I'm gonna do it.
Do it.
You know, like, and that's the energy that I'm trying to get to that point. I ain't there yet in life, but when I do, I'm gonna be thinking about you. Because I'm like, you know,
yes,
that's something I learned.
Yes, ma'am.
I learned.
You know, you got to get some of these blessings from all these Cloonies I got. You know,
Cloonies. Yes, I know that's right. It was funny. Like you posted, I forget where you posted, Dewan. Oh, I think it was for Adam's birthday. You posted like when you guys went to that Bulls game. And I was like, oh, babyface Dewan. I had forgotten.
Back in the day.
And I remember when you went to that game, because we had just like started our friendship. And I saw you post you went to the game. And that was before you had told anybody that it was a date and all that stuff. And I was like, I want to go to the Bulls game.
And look, we were on the floor.
Yes, I know. I was like, damn,
on the floor, honey. We weren't in the bleachers, or, you know, like all the way up. No, we was on the floor, honey.
The floor, and then later we got on the floor.
Like Auntie Shar does not wait to live, honey. She may not go to every game, and she might not know all the sports. When she do, she gonna be on the floor.
We on the floor. We're gonna be on the floor for 2 different reasons. I got rolled and you at the game. I'm just
like I don't know what's happening, but can I have another cocktail, please?
Right? Can I have another, sir? That's funny.
What about you, Rel? You got any?
Yeah.
Not really. Honestly, there's just so much going on right now, and I'll fill the community in when I fill them in. That I honestly have. I'm just like taking it at this point an hour at a time. So there's a lot of changes coming up, but so that's probably the resolution, just surviving that. And
is there anything that like, because we all know what's going on, but
yes.
Like, is there anything beyond that like you're looking forward to like this year?
Oh man,
she can't get this.
I
can't get past January.
Look, I don't know if y'all saw this, if y'all not watching, but it was the exhale. She said, the way them shoulders sank.
and it's just a lot. And usually I'm pretty good about like, okay, I definitely want to do this. I want to do that. I don't have the mental capacity right now to think past January, February, maybe March, like Q1. But
not Q1.
Like maybe traveling, right? Q1, that's about it. That's like corporate America coming out. Obviously traveling. I always like to travel, so I'm sure that's going to be in there somehow, some way. Yeah. Obviously the podcast continue. We want to grow that. But surviving.
You remind me of this meme that I saw today that someone said, I'm trying this new thing. It's called January. Where I just try to get through January.
That is it.
You know what I'm looking forward to, though, in addition to a lot of other things, like one of the things I'm looking forward for us in the podcast is that this has to be the year that the three of us have to be in the same location doing the podcast. Like we need to make that happen this year.
Absolutely.
100%.
I know, that's crazy to think we're coming up on 3 years and we have not done a single episode in the same room.
No,
that's why I mean, that's diligence. So we got to pat ourselves on the back.
Yeah. For real though, that is.
I mean, because you see other podcasts where you see them in the room, and there's something about an energy of them being in the same room, But you know what? We got enough pizzazz and shit.
Honey,
I don't even have to do that. Hey,
look, our energy is transcendent.
Hey, come on out.
But we need to make that happen. We need to make that happen because that's just it's been long overdue. That might be like a 2-parter episode because we talk this much. Where we separated by the screens. Can you only imagine?
There's gonna have to be an edible. We're gonna have an edible in this damn thing too.
And a wig.
And a wig too.
Yes.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Actually, you know what? You know what? We're gonna have to do it twice. This year, it may go in the vault with the other three.
that first episode might go in the vault.
The first time we attempt this, it may have to go in the vault.
You're right.
And then in 2023, when we do it again for our annual gathering.
That's so true.
Yeah, that first episode might be an episode for us.
Right. Literally. We should do that. We should do a lot. We keep talking about doing a live episode, so I think we should manifest that.
Yeah,
I think that would be a lot of fun. Yeah, I think that'll be a lot of fun.
And then maybe even like a meet and greet with the community somewhere. We keep saying that too, and
I would love to do like a pride booth somewhere. Like in one of our cities where one of the three of us live. And maybe that's where we all come together, for the weekend, and just all the aunties will be there, and we let people know like months in advance.
Exactly.
I would love to do that this year.
So we'll figure all that out.
Yeah.
We'll figure all that out. I have a question for y'all. Like, hey Amber, I'm gonna say hey now. Hey girl.
Hey. You've been cracking me up though,
honey. Pregnancy on Amber is
everything. In the trash.
Like,
look, when she woke Ben up talking about that trash, I was saying.
The way he got out of the bed and walked out the door, I know that was a conversation.
Ben be looking so mad sometimes. It'd be so funny. He'd be like, I don't feel like doing this shit. But you right.
But you right.
But I was watching her story today, and she had done like a screen cap because like she was calling Ben her Uber driver. And his name on her phone is like my husband. And I was like, you know what? Corey is not in my phone as my husband or hubby or nothing like that. How are your partners in your phone? Is it like their name, or is it like hubby, husband, partner, boyfriend, boy toy? It's just his name.
It's him.
Everybody in there with their first and last name, including my parents, and for my parents, I have in parentheses mom and dad.
So you have like Jerrell. Mom.
Right.
You know what she's thinking, because she's like, just in case someone look at my phone, they know exactly who this person is.
Right.
That's true.
No, I am the worst at like anybody I meet. I will be like, oh, such and such a Chicago. Oh, such and such a like Grinder. Oh, such and such a like wherever I meet this person, like I will put that in there to help jog my memory. But no, I mean like it's Fiznik, him, Zherka. So
wait, is it the pronoun or that's what you just call him? You call him him.
No, it's him. It's him.
Yeah, like it's just been Corey from like day one that like I've never updated it. And thing is, like I was like, God, we're not even in a relationship on Facebook. Like it's just like it made me start thinking like of all this other stuff that like I see other people have done. I'm like, oh shit, like I don't know. And I think it was just recently that I finally put Corey's last name, so it's like his first name, last name. But like, but for years in Corey's phone, I was Carell Big Chicks. For years, like I finally made him. I was like, get my name out the phone as Carell Big Chicks. Like we're fucking married at the. Like it was probably all the way through Dallas. It might have been damn near moving to Atlanta that I was still Carell Big Chicks.
It reminds me, like, one of my best friends, Paul. Corell, you've met Paul before. You know Paul in Chicago.
Hey, Paul.
Like, we had like a brief like dating moment where we like 90 days. But anyways,
Beyonce.
Literally. But for the longest time, he was Paul X in my phone, and then like 5 years later, he was like, "If you don't change that out." We are like best friends at this point. Like, I have graduated. Like, I'm like, oh, you're right. I didn't think nothing about it. I didn't think nothing about it. But
yeah, I've had the same number since I was 16. Like, I got a Nextel phone and the only reason I got a cell phone, this is like early days of cell phone. That sounds bad. Was because I started working at the mall. And so before that, I had a beeper though. Low key, beat me 911 or call me on my cell phone. Come on, Missy.
Not a beeper.
Girl, it was everything. Everything. But like, you had to like find a payphone to even do anything with it. But anyway, I've had the same number, and I say this to say I have so many just random numbers throughout time that I'm like, I have no clue who this is. Like, every once in a while will just kind of
you don't go through, you don't like clean out your phone?
It's just too many numbers at this point that I'm like,
let me tell you.
Stay in there.
You know what? So I clean out my phone every year.
Do you really?
Every year.
Wow.
Yes. If I'm not talking to you, if we not like, there is no reason for you to be in my phone. New phone, who this? No, same number,
like
who this?
on my phone.
So like, when I got into a relationship, I went through and I did a search for everybody that had the word grinder or whatever in there. Delete, or put their last name in. If this show you
how old some of these numbers are. I like at the very top of my phone now.
Does it say A for A?
Yes.
I hate you right now. I hate you right now.
Like the top 3 numbers of my phone right now are all A4A numbers.
Oh my God.
It's me too.
Literally. So that show you how old my number is and how I do not delete shit. Like, it's in there now. Like, and back in the day, I might have, because the old Nextels, you could only store like 100 numbers or something like that. So then, like, maybe. But like, the way Nextel even stored numbers too, and when you converted it, when you finally left the Nextel, it scrunched the names. So for the longest, like, your first name and last name would be scrunched. So like, I have one of my good friends, Chris, who lives here in Atlanta. His name's Chris Hunter. And forever, I finally just changed that maybe a year ago. Finally put his first name as Chris, last name as Hunter, because it would say Chris Hunter together, just based on how the Nextel phones migrated to like whatever phone I had after that. I forget now. But yeah, like I got some numbers in here that I have no recollection of who they are. I should have put like dick pics and assholes and stuff in like in the notes or something.
Let me tell you, some of my A for A ones in my phone are literally A for A like handles, bitch. Not even names, bitch. Actual handles from their A for A, bitch.
So let's see. So Mario, A for A, Mario, whoever you are, what's up, boo? No remembrance. And then like I have like, let me see here. Let me search. I probably got Scruff in here. I probably got Jacked in here. I probably I'm just looking at like what I named some of this
3, 4, 5, 6, 9.
Why did I have it as? I'm telling on myself, damn. Big D dude Scruff. And I don't remember who it is.
Call the number,
girl. Wow. Yeah, maybe I need to do. Maybe I
say,
need to
what that D do?
Honey,
what that D do?
It would clearly did something. This saved in my phone. Yeah, man.
That's funny.
Oh my God, but
my God.
But yeah, it made me just think that today. Looking at Amber's story, I was like, God, maybe I need to change Corey's name to Hubby. Like, is that mean? Like, I don't know.
We honestly, it's funny. Like, I used to care a lot about like what his name was in my phone.
Okay.
Like, and even vice versa. Like, I went so far, I was like, well, what you got me in your phone as? Like, I want to know.
Potential spam.
Like, Not potential.
I hate you right now.
If your name is potential spam and somebody's phone, honey, get you a new one. Get you a new one.
A whole new one. But no, for real, I used to care. I used to care. I don't know what.
Why?
But I no longer care. Like, even like Facebook statuses, I used to care that like it said that he was in a relationship, at least on his Facebook, or that, you know, it said that we were engaged or whatever the case. Like, I used to care so much about that shit. But now, after like a few years, like literally 5 years of being together, I'm kind of just like, bitch, if they don't know by now, like, it is.
But say like you break up in your next relationship. God forbid you guys break up. I don't think you ever will. But would you care in the next relationship?
No, I don't think I would care at all. And honestly, and I said this plenty of times, like, when I tell y'all that if this don't work out, she is gonna be a non. She going to the grave singing. Like, for real. I am giving everything that I got in this. All my eggs in this one basket. So it's gonna go back to Scruff, Grinder, and whatever else is out there. That's gonna be the names and the phones. Because that's gonna be my life.
Oof. Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't think I don't foresee Corey and I breaking up, but I'll be like, okay, what did I learn? And let me cry a few tears. Let me listen to some Mary J records and Adele records.
Not gonna cry no more.
Let me get to just fine. Ooh.
No, honestly, I mean, but not even of a sense of just being like, oh my God, like heartbroken or anything like that. Like, I mean, because of course I will be. Damn, I'm sounding like I'm not gonna be sad or nothing. But just simply just.
It's all hypotheticals for everybody listening. It's all hypotheticals. Don't be getting into no community. Don't be starting no shit.
Right, absolutely. Right. I'm just talking about from the sense of like, I truly feel like I'm giving this person everything I have, that I don't have anything else left to give. So where I am at my point that I am so invested in my relationship and I'm giving it truly everything that I can't even imagine having anything left over to give to someone else if this does not work out. Does not work out. So that's how much I love my man.
Hey, I love him.
Okay. There ain't no possibility for somebody else. That's how much I love him.
Okay, that was a nice save. Like, I've never really been focused on outside labels. I've always been focused on like what it means to us, you know, like in every relationship I've been in. So like, I was never hung up on like the Facebook stuff, like, you know, like, or what somebody had in their phone or what, like, I genuinely don't give a damn. Like, it has no impact or bearing on me or my life or whatever. And it's not a reflection of the quality of the relationship that we have. And I think I reckon, at least for me, it was not a reflection of the quality of the relationship we have. Now, everybody's different. So for some people, labels matter. Labels internally, labels externally, all that kind of stuff. And I get that. But for me, no. No, I think I don't care about that stuff.
I think the real reason why I cared so much about it is because I personally, like, I had some issues with my own self-esteem and what I brought to the table, you know? And so I felt like I had to hold on tight to this person. Yeah. And those labels was a way to hold on tight to that person. But now that I know how bum I am,
hey, you can do bad by yourself. I know
I'm the blessing bitch, okay? So,
or the curse, because she is a Capricorn. And it is Capricorn.
Let me tell you.
So you
let me just say this, because when this episode comes out, it'll be the last day of our season. So I'm going to say this right now, okay? Okay? Jesus was a Capricorn, and there is a reason why we are the best. Okay, we got Jesus. Who y'all got with y'all in y'all signs?
That's okay. He died for us all, boo.
Exactly. That's how we are. We are so selfless. Okay.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, go wash your hands and listen your ass. By the way, if you haven't got you a mug or a T-shirt or something, you know what? hit up minorityReport.com. You can get you some swag. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Come on, Mug.
Oh man. So lots coming up on TV stuff right now. We got are you gonna watch the Cheer season 2, by the way?
Wait, what?
So
Cheer
Cheer
season. I thought you said Cheers. I said, white people.
Cheer.
Not on the Minority Report.
Girl.
Everybody knows your name.
On the bathroom stall. So yeah,
it happens. But no, Cheer season 2.
Yeah,
and I guess they started filming literally right when like the first season was like in its hoopla before even Jerry and his shit went down, and then Jerry and his shit goes down in the middle of it. Then COVID happens, and then they back. So they've been filming since January 2020 all the way to April 2021. And like the trailer and everything, like I think it like the season just came out. I think today, the day we're recording. But I'm like, ooh, I was like, this look good.
Oh, I missed that. Okay.
It look
yeah.
Because I liked the first one. The first season was dope. But this.
Yeah.
Whew.
I think I would watch it. I was very reluctant at first. But I'm into it. I will watch it.
Okay.
I will watch it.
I'm gonna see what's going on.
I might check it out. I might.
Yeah. You know the one that he be like, well, I got a few hours. Let me binge it right quick.
Just y'all will be proud of me.
If I can squoze it in.
Right, let me squoze it in my other shows.
Y'all will be proud of me. Guess what? She watched RuPaul's Drag Race. I watched the first episode.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
Yeah.
So I mean, shall we break down what we saw? I mean,
I feel like I can talk about something now.
Hey, welcome to the RuPaul Drag Race.
First question first.
Yeah.
What prompted you to watch it? Because
oh, really? We talked about it enough that you're like,
look at her listening to her elders. Come on now.
No, honestly, the conversation last week when y'all were talking about how like there would be a cis straight man on the season.
Yeah.
I literally told you, I was like, I'm gonna watch it because I want to figure out who this person is. Yeah. I don't think they were in that first group.
They were not.
You know they're gonna hold on to that.
I don't think they were in that first, but let me tell you, she was looking though. I was like,
the one episode she watched, and the whole reason she watches for the cisgender man, and he wasn't even there.
Him not there.
Like, this is next week.
I think this season is gonna be a killer season based off the first 7 queens. Like Willow Pill. Yeah. Watch out for Willow Pill.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm telling y'all, watch out for Willow.
I ain't gonna lie, I died at her, like, what was the talent?
Yeah. It took me all the way out.
It took me all the way out.
Every face was like, what? And when she, like, it was cool when she brought out the spaghetti. It was cool when, like, you know, she was
it
like
was cool from the
meatball.
The song choice.
When that
but when that toaster came out,
I was like, Willow, you just getting you a fan, bitch. Like I was all the way there.
That was the part that got me. I was like, okay, yes, I'm here for this. But I feel like because she hasn't been doing it that long. I feel like she's still a little rough around the edges because I don't feel like her look that night looked good. She looked very Kermit the Frog. I was like, it did not look.
You mean her entrance look, or you meant the look?
Both of them, girl. First of all, but her entrance look was very white chicks. And Cornbread would not let that bitch
I loved it.
Cornbread's my other favorite. Yeah.
I love Cornbread. But
we gotta have a whole conversation about Cornbread. Yeah. So
I forgot what she said, but she said something like, "Oh, you got that."
She said, "You and them flip flops."
You and them flip flops. Are you going to the beach?
We're going to the beach with her flip flops.
I'm like, yeah, Cornbread. But I didn't get Willow from the entrance look. I was like, okay, I'm not quite getting it. But then the second she came out and did her perform, I was like, oh, I got you, bitch. And then even when she came with her runway outfit, I was like, I got you. I got your number.
I got her from Jump Street.
Yeah.
I really did. Because even her promo look, she has this kind of like strawberry shortcake kind of like vibe with like the little like purple, I don't forget what they were, clouds or some shit like that or whatever. But she looked like
freckles.
Yeah, like, and then when you saw like what she looked like out of drag, it's like, okay, you know how to paint.
Yeah,
you know how to paint.
Yeah.
And when she showed up dressed like Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie
instantly
in
clocked
The
it.
Simple
Instantly.
Life.
Yes.
I was like, this bitch knows exactly what the fuck
What she's
she's
doing.
doing. She
Yeah.
didn't show up like happenstance dressing like Drag Race season 1, you know,
Yes.
like you know,
Right.
with like pedestrian drag. No,
Yes.
she intentionally showed up that way, and it was a good strategy because everybody did underestimate her.
And everybody was talking about her.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
And when she did her like her performance,
They're like, oh
and
shit.
they were just like,
They're like, oh shit. We got
what
one.
are we watching here?
Because this is where I kind of am at with RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm kind of personally tired of the aesthetic of the Instagram pretty face. Like, everybody's doing that now. Like the makeup tutorial face. Like, you almost have lost drag. There's like no perspective on it. There's no like just little something that's just a little different than what you've seen before. So that's why I'm like, okay, Willow, I got your number now. I like the diversity of it. I like the rawness of it. I like the pretty, because clearly she know how to paint. So I'm like, okay, she gonna give me the well-roundedness that I need from a drag queen, not just a pretty face, a cute outfit. Everybody could buy a cute outfit nowadays.
I think my thing with her is like, she's the type of performer, drag like performer I would like to see in person.
Yeah,
I feel like
sure.
I think she'll do great this season, but I think one of the things that truly make her like stand out is that she's one of the people that you see live and you'll be like, bitch, give her all the coins. Because even like doing that talent, I was just like, I would die watching that in real life. Like, because I was on the couch just laughing and tears, being like, because I was just so shook. I was like, wait, what the fuck just happened? I was like, what?
The only thing that I fear, so I want to make 2 points. One, in my opinion, part of the drag stratosphere, you know, of like what it means to be drag is to be an anarchist. You know, you're supposed to, it's counterculture. And so I think what you were saying, Carell, in terms of like how commercialized it's become, you know, where it's become more about the look queens more than about people bringing something interesting, different that's making you think. And we got used to that. So I think having performance art, and I don't even want to do air quotes, having performance art, which was her talent, having that performance art was so refreshing to see, because it wasn't just another lip sync or you know, like somebody, you know, doing, you know, jumping rope. You know,
although, but that jumping, okay, don't.
I'm not hating, but I'm just saying.
I'm just not hating, but I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Willow seems like she would be at like Vauxhall Tavern in London. Like, who's ever been to London, there's a gay bar in London, and it's just like quirky drag, it's quirky performances. And I was like, that's where Willow's lane is, and I'm all the way here for it.
So my second point is my fear is that I wonder how she will perform in the other challenges that are more focused on other things, because one of the things that I wonder is how is she at lip syncing? Like, what does her lip sync technique look like from a performance perspective?
That's true.
How would she show up in a comedy challenge? How would she show up when she has to write her own lyrics? Like all these other kind of, you know, things. So I just wonder if her creativity will then translate into those other areas, because you know she's dealing with some dark demons and you know, a lot of health ailments and things like that. But we had another queen, Evie Oddly, who, you know, had a very similar backstory, who was also this
like
person's
friends.
drag, their drag mom. So I hope, fingers crossed, that we're able to see more of like that creativity and like that punchiness, that kind of like what Lady Gaga did in the music industry, bringing performance art into pop art. I hope that she has a little bit more longevity and can translate that.
We'll see. But Cornbread is funny as hell too, though. Cornbread's my other favorite. Cornbread.
I love it.
Cornbread's a fucking star. Like
she is 100%.
And the period. Like she can walk into any room, in drag, out of drag. You're gonna be like, I like this bitch. You know?
I think if Cornbread doesn't get in her own way, meaning get in her own head, she could win this. She could be the first big girl to actually win this, and not like a pity, like, oh, you know, like, yeah, you know, you're good at lip syncing, but that's all you're good at, you know, i.e. I won't say any names, but
say their names. Say their names.
But I genuinely feel like if she doesn't get in her own way, she can win this entire thing. Her looks are amazing. Her intelligence is on point. Her comedic timing is incredible. Her sense of owning who she is as a big, beautiful, black, melanated, gorgeous, ball-headed, you know, girl. Like when she came out in them, you know, them like those George shooting, those like Daisy open booty shorts, like I said, take all my money.
Was a
on the necklace.
And it was.
I want me a chicken wing necklace so bad. I paused it. I was like, Corey, all I want for my birthday is a chicken wing necklace this year. I want one so bad. I tweeted it on Minority Report. I was like, I want a chicken wing necklace. But that's that little shit of attention to detail that's fucking great. That costs probably like $1 to do. It doesn't have to be some big ass like designer moment. No, that's what drag needs to kind of get back to. At least what I enjoy about drag. Yes, I love the look queens because I be watching the makeup tutorials daily. But I just need a slightly different perspective now. And the last few years of Drag Race has kind of just been this siloed look queen.
I love like when black drag queens celebrate their blackness as part of their drag, because the difference that I saw between her and I forget what the other queen's name was,
Jambalaya Rice or something like that.
Jambalaya Rice, who did the praise dancing and the African dancing and whatnot, which was cute and all. But like to me that felt more like that felt like a gimmick versus what Cornbread has been consistent in that one episode in doing is just showing up as herself.
Yeah.
She gave me Insecure.
Kelly.
What's her name? Kelly vibes. She gave me Kelly vibes. Like she shows up ready, stealing the show, stealing the light.
I know what her only knock that they're going to give her this season, and it's going to come from the show, is her proportions are weird. Like she has a very short torso. And so when she does go bald, it does kind of squish her down. And I know that's what Michelle Visage is going to say the entire season. So it's going to get fucking old and I'm like, shut up, Michelle. But it's going to be interesting to see the different looks and wigs and how she could play with her proportion. Because for some reason Michelle's very a stickler on that.
Isn't that what she called her out on her runway look?
Yeah. She needed height, and she did because
she did.
Like, girl, you threw a napkin on you threw a chain napkin on your head that you needed to do better than that. That I wasn't happy about that. I was like, girl, you really thought this through? This was not giving Grace Jones. This was like no, this was not
Jackson.
Grace Jones.
The next door neighbor.
Right.
And I'm trying to think anyone else. Like the girl that got voted off, she was from Michigan, so I was like, "Oh, come on, Grand Rapids," because it's hard to see small town.
But here's the thing: only people in the Midwest would understand that talent. They would only understand because I thought it was funny. I was like, I get it.
But it was very Michigan, like Midwest humor. I was like, damn, that ain't gonna
absolutely.
Cut it.
Yeah,
I was very disappointed that she. I was disappointed that she left because I can tell just by her own like drag that she has a very interesting perspective, and I was sad that we didn't get to see it. Whereas Jambalaya, I think she certainly outperformed her in the lip sync for sure, but
I don't think she knows who she is yet. I don't think Jambalaya knows who she is yet as a drag.
I don't think so either. And honestly, like, because I'm always rooting for everybody black first over everybody else. But when I knew she was going to be in the bottom, I didn't like her, what y'all call it, the intro look, right?
The entrance look.
Yeah,
I didn't like that either.
And she thought she was
Didn't
going to
like
get
that.
by because it was designer. It's like, bitch, no, it was ill-fitted for your body type.
No, it did not look good.
I mean, just the straps going all the way over here.
Yeah.
And then your titties all the way up. It's like,
No.
She's like, this is whatever, whoever it was.
No.
I was like, oh, God, you just...
yeah.
I think she's probably someone that just in a couple years will be fantastic.
She'll come back on All-Star season like 10 and you're like, oh, that's that bitch now.
Right. I think this would be something that she will learn from and then be like, okay, now I know how to serve a bitch.
Yeah.
You know, I think in her mind, I think she wants to. She has a mentality for it. It's the execution. I don't think that she's gonna go far for.
Yeah.
Well, you hit the nail on the head there, because like when you looked at her performance when she did her talent, which was the like the African dancing and whatnot, and she had her headband was falling in her face the entire time. It's like you didn't stress test this look.
Period. Like, bitch, I be doing like first day of school clothing like a week ahead, and every day like, okay, can I squat? Can I not? Can I write? Can I?
Because
bitch,
look,
like, you gotta
it wasn't like she was just standing there doing poetry. She was doing like flips and like she was doing African dance, so her whole body was moving. It would have looked better if we could have seen her face.
And that's just little shit like that. That you could tell she must not be in the drag scene, either like she's fairly new still or isn't out there as much, or maybe doesn't do that part of herself in a club, because that's little shit that you learn along the way. You're like, oh shit, I ain't wearing that headband no more last week because I was at wherever bar last night and that shit kept on falling up. That's just little shit.
This also helps you to identify, and I know we given a whole damn episode on Drag Race, damn. But this does give you a sense for kind of like this new guard of queens that are more focused on the look and not focused on the performance, and or looking at the whole package. Like there are some. There were a lot of queens. I forget I forget all their names, but like the queen that had like the horns that coming out of her tits and they coming out of her head.
Yeah.
Like
that's she's from Seattle.
Thank you.
So
so she understands how to marry a look with serving up a performance. And I don't think Jambalaya.
Yeah. We gotta find out her real name. We don't know what her real name is.
I mean, that's what she called herself. So Jambalaya, Creole. That's what Creole. Come on, Creole, Alabama. That's what Jambalaya, I think, what she's missing. And you have a lot of and let's be clear, with all the drag races that have been out, this show has been out for what, 14 years now. So easily. They didn't capture the kind of like upper echelon of the queens that have been out here doing it for a minute, who have that industry, like experience, etc. So now they're bringing in these queens that have been doing it for
Drag Race.
3 years, right? 3 years, 5 years, and a lot of them are amazing. But the immaturity shows.
You got to still cut your teeth. You still got to put that work in, whatever it is. Even though social media makes it a little easier to gain the following and things like that, you still had to put that work in, because that you get on a show of this scale, that's where you see it with your thing falling in your face. Where something else, that's where you start. You're like,
And I appreciate. Really quickly, I appreciated Michelle Visage's harsh critiques for the first episode, because Jerrell, you might not know because you don't watch, but she usually does like a softball kind of thing. Yeah. But she got really in, and I love the fact that it was only 7 of them, so it's half of them. So she was really able to like dig in, and I hope she keeps that same energy, because at this stage of the game, this show done been out for 14 years. There ain't no goddamn excuse. If you do a reel, I don't care if you started drag last week. If you do a reel and then you got selected to be on the show, you better come with your A game or. I'm hoping that
home.
No, let Michelle eat that ass up. Eat that. Go home crying like old girl did, girl did this past episode. I didn't get to show the stuff I wanted to, but you should have showed up.
You should have showed your ass then.
And that's what I love that you're doing, Jerrell. Like transition really quickly, like with your job and like going into this year, you are betting on yourself, and I love that for you.
Thanks, boo. I mean, speaking of drag though, like, okay, so let me tell y'all, we watched one episode. and then we watched that whole season of Queen of the Universe.
Oh, see, I haven't watched it yet. That's on my list.
How was it? How was it? I watched 2 episodes, and I'm not into singing shows. So
I thought it was cool.
That told me.
Honestly, here's the thing, because I'm not big into drag. That's why I'm gonna say cool.
Yeah.
I love singing competitions. I love hearing people sing. And I think that was my favorite part of it. Like, I understand drag, but I love a queen that can sing. Like, I will happily throw money at a queen that sings before anything else, just because singing is a true talent. It's a true talent. That is not something that someone else can just pretend to do. Yeah, you either you can or you can't. Yeah, you know. And a few of the people could sing. I don't think they necessarily found really good talent, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I think that black chick from Chicago is like pretty talented.
She was okay.
Okay, see, I only saw the first 2 episodes. So
the girl from Atlanta was better. The girl from Atlanta was way better. Okay. She was way better. Okay. And she gave me like 80, 75. She gave you like the Donna Summers like era of music. Like, her voice fits that perfectly. Like, I was always transcended to like old school music. Yeah. So I rocked with her.
Like Anita Baker.
Yeah, you beat me to it. He said old school music. I was gonna say like old school music, like Tinashe and
I'm talking about more like Christina Milian, you know, like more old school.
I got you, boy.
Samantha Mumba, you know,
and Cassie, you know. But no, honestly, I really like that fact about it. And it was cool. And honestly, the judges were like, they were cussing, you know, it's because it was an adult show. Like, so, you know, and Michelle Visage was actually harsh on there. So that's my intro to her. I was like, damn, bitch, you were talking about like, why can I see your black Spanx underneath that brown leather?
She is very
yes. I love that.
Yeah. And I was like,
call them out.
Oh, goddamn.
And we got Mama Rue's new album and new songs on there too. Come on, Rue. She will put in her songs, bitch.
When Mama Rue rolled out there in a wheelchair, practically.
Mariah Carey style. Like.
Right. I'm like, but at least Mariah Carey sing on them tracks. Damn. Like, she become that there, like.
I listened to the Mama Rue album this week. It's actually kind of good. I was like,
I'll listen to it as I watch the season.
Right, it's like
she be throwing every episode be another one of her songs.
Let's do that. I'm going to commit to watching this season, and we'll be able to talk about it.
Absolutely.
Okay. This would be the continuation of Insecure has transitioned into the world of drag.
Some show. I'm still mourning Insecure ain't here.
And people in the community, if y'all still listening, because I know we talked about drag for a long time. Woo! If y'all still listening, come on this journey with me.
Absolutely.
And then y'all and I can go in with y'all and be like, bitch, I don't like this. Because I know, because your aunties over here, they gonna be talking about like things they seen several seasons. So if you knew like I am, I want to have those conversations too. You know, when somebody don't know shit about drag, like I don't know shit about drag. Otherwise, I'll be in lesson with you every episode, just listening to my aunties.
But it's gonna be interesting to see your perspective, because like seeing it for so long, like we just know the rhythm of the show at this point. It's the same thing every year. So it'll be interesting to see what you see and pick out versus like what we might at this point almost overlook because it's always there in a way.
And even from your competitive background, you know, in terms of like coaching and cheerleading, et cetera, and like understanding like that whole thing, I think it'd be interesting to get your perspective on like how these shows are shaking out.
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're gonna take a quick little tea break. We interrupt this episode for very important information.
That's right. You've been asking for it for a long time, and we have heard you.
Yep, it's been a long time coming, but it's finally here.
Yo Aunteas
got
merch! Hey! That's right. You know what? We got tees, we got long tees, we got sweatshirts, we got fanny packs, there's just a whole gamut of stuff out there, so go and check that out.
We are so appreciative of your love and support, and we are so excited to launch it. Girl, where can we find us at?
Ma'am, they can head right over to minorityReport.com to check out the selection.
That's right. That's MINORITEA report.com.
Woo! Alrighty, and once again, minorityReport.com, bitch, you can get you some swag.
Yes.
All right, what time is it?
Ask
Your
Auntie.
My little Rupaul routine.
Oh my god, I'm dying. Literally, my computer just said, "Do you want to play some music?" After saying that.
Wait, is that your Amazon computer, honey?
No.
Honey.
Let me tell you, they're not getting access
Look,
to
you
this
better.
computer.
You,
They're
look,
not getting access to this computer.
you better watch where that. You better watch where that laptop is at, because when they hear the booty claps, like it turns on.
Honey. And stored in the cloud forever.
Look. They were like, "Oh, do you want to get this in your phone?" No, I don't want nothing in my phone. No.
Y'all ain't tracking me today. All right, who has it this week?
All right, this is a long one, so bear with me. Oh God, but it's a good one.
Not like in the eyes.
Well, I have to see what I'm doing. Look, she didn't drink her whole brown liquor, so
my first
All
drink
right.
of the year.
Good.
right. Recently, I've been wrestling with, hey aunties, recently I've been wrestling with navigating the world as a queer person of color. I feel like sometimes I'm walking around without a map, while my white friends, both in and out of the LGBTQ plus community, have an easier time exploring the terrain, dating, self-confidence, etc. I am Black, and unfortunately, why do you have to put unfortunately way close to the word Black?
Right.
But I digress. I am Black. Pause. And unfortunately, all too familiar with the dating apps where guys will say things like, "Sorry, no chocolate," quote unquote. It's terribly discouraging. We lack representation in literature, film, television, and I can go on. And you are. It makes me feel isolated. My friends, sorry, y'all.
That brown
This is
liquor.
a lot. My friends who are like my family to me always hear me out, but when we're out in bars or playing around on the apps, okay, playing around the apps with their friends, I feel they immediately get attention from other guys. It gives me the message that whiteness is more valued and more desirable. So, at the end of all that, as a queer POC individual, how do we remind ourselves that we are strong, beautiful, and desirable in a world and a community in which fails to encourage us or advocate for us?
Go on, Jacked. You going on the wrong one.
And we're done.
And
Send your next Ask Yo
right.
Auntie at minorityReport.com.
I mean,
with y'all.
honestly, like sometimes I completely agree. Like we've all been in these situations, especially being Black men in the queer arena. But sometimes I wonder, do we not put ourselves in situations, it's like we know what's going to happen sometimes on these apps. Like it's habitual. So why do we keep putting ourselves in arenas and places that we know we're not going to be respected and desired and things like that? They're telling us that they don't like us, they don't see us, they only want us for one thing. So it's just like, if that's your situation, go in apps and bars and situations that you know you're going to feel seen and desired and wanted. And yes, I know that's hard because there's not that many places in America. But maybe get off some of the apps, get off some of these things that if it's like hurting you mentally and your self-esteem, take a break, and put yourself around people that are just going to uplift you. That way, if you want to get back on these various apps, you know what you want, you know what you're not going to stand for, and you don't, like, it won't it's hard to penetrate you at that point.
Unless you want to be penetrated. Unless you want to be traded.
And do some penetration too. But I mean, I just feel sometimes we just, especially in gay communities, think this is the norm. We have to be on the grinders. We have to be on the scruffs when there's other apps and other ways to get what you want, you know? And we don't hear jacked out there enough. Like, and that's a pretty people of color forward app. So go out there. You're going to be desired, boo-boo. I can trust, you know? So, yes, I get this feeling. We've all felt this way. We have all been there, done that, boo-boo. And it's true. Like, you see maybe your friends, your white friends get hit up on people that you find attractive. And you're like, shit, I think I'm the shit too. Why they see me? Why are they hollering at me? Put yourself in some positions where you need to be hollered at, because if not, you're going to constantly feel this way in a way. I don't know. And it's hard to just say that, because I get it, because it's easier said than done, because there's so many white spaces.
What do you think?
I got a lot to say.
Sit back, buckle up.
So, like, and I say this every Pride Month about how I love to disrupt white people's Pride Month, because of the fact that when it comes to the queer community, how Pride is celebrated in our community, it's about white folks. And it's not just Pride Month, it's literally every day of the fucking year. That is what it looks like. What you see Pride Month is how it is all the time. And so we got to start having a lot more accountability for the reason why we continue to allow this shit to happen. We need to start clocking these white bitches in the face in the moment. And we need to start calling them out and stop being like, oh, well, you have microaggressions and all this other. No, bitch, you're racist. And all this other. We need to start calling these bitches out, period. We got to start having some accountability and owning that sometimes we allow people to kind of act like that to us, especially within the queer community. Because in the queer community, so many people are focused on their queerness that they forget that there's still racism within their community. And so it is on us to let them know, like, just because you're queer don't mean you don't have other blind spots. And that is the importance of why we need to speak up and say, even to our friends. The other thing, and I kind of got from here, that these people that you say your friends, that when y'all are playing together on the apps and they get more attention, are white. Don't go to white people about your black people problems, because you're not going to get the reality, the answers that you need to actually grow and be seen and heal and move on and progress in your life. Don't go to white people about black people problems. They ain't going to be able to understand. The close they can get as an ally and give you a space to talk, but they're not going to give you the wisdom, the words, or the true encouragement that you need to move on. And they're not going to be able to respond and give you positive feedback to help motivate you and inspire you to love yourself even more.
Because they're trying to get dick too. So in their mind, they just trying to hook up as well. So they're like, well, hold on.
They already getting it. They
Exactly.
already getting it. So for them, they're like, this don't make any sense to me. I don't understand why it's so hard. Well, of course you don't understand why it's so hard. So part of your situation too, you got to make sure you're surrounding yourself with people who look like you. And I guarantee you that's going to also help you start to love yourself that much more, because you are surrounded with people where you get to be your most authentic self wholeheartedly, including the color of your skin, which a lot of people in the queer community like to act don't fucking exist, but it does.
But it does.
It does. And that's why, to kind of like Auntie Carell's point about so many white spaces, that's why it's important that we start creating non-white spaces. So that's kind of my 2 piece of it. I will honestly encourage you to broaden your horizons, and also don't chase people who don't want you. Like, if you know that if you're attracted to white people, you have to understand that they're 50%. This is just me. I look at the glass half full. I'm automatically gonna say 50% of them bitches don't want me. Period. That's just how it is. If you black, you understand that racism exists, and you don't know who's gonna be racist and who not gonna be. And to me, racism goes as far as not being attracted to someone too. Because if you aren't attracted to me because I'm black, that's racism.
Yeah, your ass is gonna be on the beach tanning and everything in your Speedo trying to get darker.
Right. So if you're gonna jump in the pool with white people, expect not to be their flavor. And that's something that you gonna have to start to understand if you're not gonna do the work to start clocking them bitches and be like, no, you broaden your horizons.
Mm-hmm.
So
I feel like there's a couple things. So I 100% agree with both, the aunties on this. It's unfortunate, but we all have experiences, and like I just want to let you know, Anonymous, we see your situation because we have all at some point in time been in your shoes. So I don't want you to get the impression like, oh, yeah, I don't want you to come away from this feeling like, oh, these, they don't really get my situation or whatever.
And we got white partners. So we do.
Facts. So I want to say that we hear you, we understand your situation. I think number one, part of this whole kind of like white supremacist agenda has been to position whiteness as the ideal. Mm-hmm. So a lot of queer POCs who are entering the LGBTQ plus community are actually entering the gay white man's community. Mm-hmm. that is fought by, managed by, privileged by, supported by, and appropriated by white men. And people a lot of us go into, our outness, coming out, wanting to be accepted by this community. We see these, these circuit party boys, these muscle boys, these twink boys, these whatever community boys or whatever, but they're white gay men. And I'm just speaking specifically from the gay perspective, and I can't speak to other communities because that's not my experience. But what I'm saying to you is that there is this notion that gets embedded in our heads that we compare ourselves, our beauty, our style, our whatever, against a community that we're not a part of. And we chase after that dragon to our own detriment. So I think piggybacking off of what Jerrell and Carell are saying is that I think going back onto your question, how do we remind ourselves that we are strong, beautiful, desirable, et cetera, et cetera? I think part of it is doing a little bit of self-reflection to see like what are you chasing after? So is it that you're chasing after a relationship with somebody of quality, or are you chasing after a relationship with a white man, or chasing after a hookup with a white man because you think that is the status symbol? Right. I'm just challenging you lovingly to think about that aspect. Think introspectively. I think the number two is, I piggyback on what was also said about surrounding yourselves with people that look like you. When I met Carell in Chicago, we met at a bar. We were all surrounded by people who weren't black. Yeah. And I said, I want to get to know this guy. We had a conversation, and in 2 minutes, I said, we need to be friends. Yeah, and then he said, well, I'm moving in 6 months.
I did too. Yeah.
But I think if you are navigating predominantly white spaces because either, there aren't those spaces in the community that you live, because a lot of us, may grow up in a community where that only caters predominantly to white men and don't have, black bars or Latin bars or whatever. If you're in those spaces, I would challenge you to try to foster relationships with other people of color who are queer, who look like you, to again surround yourself with that energy and that perspective, because your white friends do not understand the struggle, that pain that you're going through every single night when you feel basically rejected by all of them. I don't know how many 45 squares are in the grid or whatever, and like when you're feeling that pain at the end of the night, when you're not hooking up, or you're acquiescing, you're basically saying, okay, well, I'll just give in to like hooking up with this guy because this is the only person that talked to me, as opposed to holding on to your value and your worth because you are worth it. Yeah. Those are the things that you should be thinking about before you really kind of like dive into validation through these apps. I think the other thing is just really thinking about reminding yourself of what is your own worth. Like if you don't recognize the worth that you're bringing to the table, that you are at the mercy of, these grids that are out there to tell you how worthy you are, that's a problem. So just like what you said in your question, when you say, how do we remind ourselves that we are strong, beautiful, and desirable in a world and a community that fails to encourage us or advocate for us, you do that.
You
You
gotta
do that.
it.
Say that to yourself.
Yeah.
Say that I am strong. I am beautiful.
right.
I am intelligent.
I is strong. I is beautiful. I is intelligent.
I'm a big believer in the power of the spoken word. And once you say something, once you speak it into existence, it has life. And so whether you believe in daily affirmations or whatever, it's not the thing. Find what works to you to affirm yourself, to affirm who you are. And if you're not in that place, that's okay. You can get there. Yeah. I just want to let you know that this is a journey, and you're going to have to deprogram all that programming that comes to us through social media, through all these influencers, through all TV and movies, through the social scenes that you're running through the clubs that you're experiencing, all that shit that's telling you that a certain look is the ideal, and you should, if you want to be in, or you want to be popular, you want to be popping, you want to be desirable, you have to look like that or be adjacent to that. You have to figure out a way to deprogram yourself from those things so that you can break free and really live in your truth and attract the people that are actually into you as an individual. And
That's
that person
thinking.
may not be what you think they will be, but they will give you the kind of relationship that you deserve.
That's what I was thinking, because there's something once you do that work. Because again, and DeWanda touched on it at the beginning of his statement that like we've been there, so I don't want it to sound like, and we're still in it.
Yeah.
Like
facts.
It's
facts.
not like
we're deprogramming.
Because like I'm gonna listen back to this episode, and be like, okay, like I need to hear this still, because there are still times I'm married, but there's still times you still want to be like flirting on here, like, oh, a dude flirted at me at the grocery store,
Exactly.
And there's times where you're in these white areas where you're like, God, even to this day, as much as I think I'm dope and fly and good looking and all that, there's still these moments where you're just like, damn, nobody's checking me out right now. Come on, like I'm looking good right now. And so it's just like you're still programmed in that world. It's just like trying to get this validation from a crowd that has never had to be in situations other than what they look like,
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm so deprogrammed. I'm almost like judgy to the point, like I'm almost
right.
bad. Like every time I see something, I'm like, like I didn't start stereotyping people. I've had to learn how to, not. And a friend of mine, Cody from Minneapolis, a great soul, like great man, body, personality, everything. But he looks like the poster child of what the queer community. Yeah, right. But let me tell you, when I tell you he'd be like on his Instagram.
Wait, what did you say his name was?
His name's Cody.
Right. It's like, let me
when
look
I
this
tell you,
bitch
up. That was written in the stars.
Right. But let me tell you, but when I tell you he'd be like, I'm talking about he got like 80,000 followers and shit like that. When I tell you he'd be like on his stories and on his posts, be like clocking, racism and, homophobic and all this other stuff, like truly using his platform and being a true ally. I'm like, damn, you remind me that not all people that look like you ain't the same. So as you're deprogramming, I just want to say, like just be careful not to go too far to the other side like I did, girl, because I've been ready to say fuck you. Now I'm like, you cool, right? Fuck you.
Right.
I love the fact that they had enough courage, that Anonymous had enough courage to be able to put this out there, because I think it's easy for us to just sweep it under the rug that, we passed all this.
No.
But we're not. There are people that are out there that are struggling internally, and it is painful. And I think your aunties understand what that pain is like. Yeah. And I think if you'll just think about it in this terms, people, no matter what walk of life, no matter what their sexuality, no matter what their sexual orientation is, they're attracted to confidence. People who are confident in themselves, not cocky, but confident. And if you've ever looked around the club or looked around or whatever, and you see the ugliest, the most whatever you consider to be, and then they're pulling away with like, big dick, Adam for Adam, whatever, Michigan or whatever, they pulling that stuff. a lot of times it don't have anything to do with the outside. It has something to do with the inside. So I guarantee you, if you do the work on you to affirm yourself and surround yourself, you will attract the law of attraction. You will attract
and I'm one
so
of those
much
friends,
positivity.
And I'm one of those friends that love to hook my friends up. So, let me know what your type is.
Hey.
I tell all my single friends, my friends are all fuckable and dateable.
Hey.
Okay. Because I only hang around the best. So I will never put two people together if I don't think all my friends are dateable and fuckable that are single.
There we go.
Okay.
I mean, even if they not, if we
or
know their situation,
or if they're open,
right, if you know their situation,
or as long as their situation and relationship allows that, go for it. So you can go through my friend list, honey, and I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna be good.
I think that the other point is that if you don't have that person, and this goes to anybody in the community, part of the reason this podcast exists is because it's important for us to bridge the gap and to open ourselves up to help support one another, and if you're needing help and you need someone to talk to, reach out to your aunties. We are all here. Like, we might not know you personally, or maybe we do know you personally because this person's anonymous. But, at the end of the day, reach out to us. Like, we'll have a real ass conversation, not just a Twitter conversation or a DM conversation, but let's pick up the phone. Let's have a real conversation, because at the end of the day, there's no queer POC individual that should be listening to this podcast right now that's walking out feeling like they don't have anybody to talk to.
Absolutely.
You can talk to us.
I agree with that.
You can talk to us.
You can always hit me up. It don't happen often. It don't happen that often. I forgot someone that did it the other day, and I was like, oh, hey, it's so nice to hear from someone from the community, on my personal IG. Yeah. And they were like, that doesn't happen. I was like, honestly, I don't hear much from the community personally.
No.
Which, I mean, I love. Of course, we want things to go through Minority Report because that is the brand. That is who we are, but don't be afraid if you are leaning to auntie and you're like, hey, I want to ask this particular auntie. You can ask us. Absolutely. We are totally fine. We're here. Send us those memes, those gifts, and all that stuff that's happening out there. We here.
And them salacious pictures.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. No close friends.
Right. I know. Exactly. Close friends.
Look, I be scrolling for the green circle.
Same here. Where the green circles at?
All right. Show me what you're working with now.
Oh yeah, that was a great question, and honestly, we've been there, done that, and still going through it, and still learning, and still growing. So don't feel like you're alone by any means.
Yeah, it's the community. It's not you. It's the community. There's work that we all need to do collectively to change, our community.
So continue to send them questions to aya@minorityReport.com or DM us on our personal, text us, call us, wave us down in the streets at the Kroger, whatever you gotta do. Because we like these questions, and these are just vulnerable questions that we need to get out there and talk about as a community, because no one needs to feel alone at all. So,
speaking of being Black, y'all know what we did not start off with the episode with? This episode comes out on Martin Luther King Day, and we didn't even acknowledge that.
Damn. Hey,
MLK Day. It's MLK Day.
Yes.
And we waited to start talking about Black people stuff in order to
MLK Day. I mean, I don't even know what else to say about the man. Like, shit. Did a lot, continues to do a lot, and he's dead. Like, that's bars right there. That's like the dopest shit on earth. Is like, you get assassinated for what you believe in, and decades later, bitches still saying your name and utilizing your teachings and your mentality to continue to progress the movement. Like, that's dope, And I mean, and it doesn't mean he wasn't a flawed human being. He had some flaws too. We all do, but it just shows you, despite your flaws, what you can do. Woo, come on now, where's my tambourine? Jesus.
How do you guys... so they also put Maya Angelou on the quarter. So curious, what are your thoughts about that? And, as we're thinking about achievements and recognition and representation and all of those kinds of things.
I mean, I feel like a white person picked that pose of hers, though.
Oh, stop.
You know what? Because let me
that wasn't
tell
the black
you.
person that picked that
No,
pose.
no, it sure the fuck was not. Bitch.
It's like, we don't do that.
No. Whoa. Where
No,
they do that at? Where they do that at?
They modeled that at Jambalaya's praise dance on RuPaul's Drag Race.
You're right.
I'm like, is that Maya Angelou?
Like,
Or is that Debbie Allen?
Is that the princess?
Look, is this Maya Angelou or is this Debbie Allen? Come on now. What is going on here?
That I hate about that is that you can't tell that it's her.
You can't.
Right.
That's the thing that I don't like about it. I'm glad that she is on the coin and she's the first Black American woman to ever be on the quarter. Is it the quarter, right?
On any legal
Currency.
tender.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
that's fact. But I wish they would have given her face. Just like they do all these white presidents and all these other people that have been actually on coins, you get to see a whole face.
That could have been Maya Jackson down the street
Bitch,
too.
for real, okay? For real.
Yeah.
What in the impersonator shit is that?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
no.
And we still need Harriet. Like, hurry up with Harriet on the 20.
Right, on the 20, because
No,
we
I
need
feel
them
like
down.
it'll be
We
the
need
back
them.
of her head on that, bitch. Like, I didn't lost faith.
We gonna see them bitty bees. We gonna see them bitty bees.
Yeah, you know why? They're gonna be like, because she was running. We couldn't get a picture because she was running.
Look, and the caption they're gonna read instead of e pluribus unum, they're gonna say, "All my life I had to fight."
I'm done. Thank you, Harriet, though.
Thank you.
Girl. And then on the back, it's gonna say, "Pass me them peas."
Oh, I'm sweating.
I'm just,
Sorry, Harriet.
I would love to
Hold
have
on.
been.
We just playing, Harriet.
We thank you. We thank you. But for real though, I done lost hope in the government to give you the representation
Girl.
that you would deserve for all your hard work
Right.
and what you just sacrificed.
But see, that's why the Obamas were smart. Especially Barack. He's like, no, I'm going to get me a black painter. Both of them, it's like, we getting black people to paint us. Because y'all ain't about to do us grimy.
Yeah.
You ain't going to have us looking like Barack from the Kroger.
They're gonna have him looking like Borat.
Right.
Borat.
Borat from the Piggly Wiggly. Nuh-uh, not today. Not today, Jesus. No, you're not. And shout out to MJ, by the way, the first
MJ
trans
Yes.
the Golden Globe for Best Actress. Hey, stand up.
Yes.
And of course, it was the year that the Golden Globes weren't on TV. I'm like, ain't that about a bitch?
Right.
But
you know what? It doesn't
shows-
take away from the achievement. It does
at
not.
all.
Because if you look anywhere on the internet, you see people are blowing her
Absolutely.
up and giving her flowers today, and it is absolutely well deserved.
Period. And it shows you what representation in a voting body can do, because they revamped the voting body because there weren't any black people in the fucking Hollywood Foreign Press or whatever it's called.
And they said, and you Latina, so you getting one too.
Right, because you Latina.
They said it's a 2-for-1.
Right.
And you Latina.
She 1000% absolutely deserved it. I think her acting in that show was absolutely riveting.
And you saw
and I've said this from the beginning.
She saved that whole season.
She did.
Yeah, she did. She did the work. She did what needed to be done.
Yeah.
MJ.
I'm so happy for her.
J. Hey, here for it. Rest in peace, Sidney Poitier. Oh, that's a heartbreaker.
They say it come in 3, so
yeah. Well, we got Bob, Betty, and Sydney.
Do you count them in the same
No,
in the
'cause
same
they white.
group though?
No. White people, they get
Well,
that.
then I don't. Well, no, I'm going to, because I don't want 2 other black people to die.
If we gotta be 3, 2 of the bitches better be white.
One for us, 2 for y'all. Okay, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. I mean, if it's gonna happen that way, 1 for us, 2 for y'all.
2 for 1. I mean, shit. And I mean, in all seriousness, like, people died, like, and so there's people hurting and shit like that. So I know we're a little lighthearted. So, But
No, and I think honestly, this is like, again, goes to this notion of celebration of death. I mean, obviously, we're not making fun of not making fun of death for the purpose of just being like callous and cold-hearted, But at the end of the day, I think one of the things about being Black, particularly, is being able to find the laughter and find joy and find a way to deal with things that can be very traumatic and can take you to a dark place. But I think it's important for us to honor the people that have come before us and that have passed and whatnot, and situations that are unfortunate, but also for us to find the light. And sometimes finding the light means we gotta crack a joke. Yeah. we got. I mean, we bear a lot.
We know. This is more so like a lesson to the white folks that are listening, because this is part of Black folks' coping mechanisms is to learn how to turn a bad situation into something
because y'all was doing this grimy way too long. We had to laugh.
Right. So don't get it
see that master bitch today? His hair.
I
that comb over today, bitch. You see that master comb over?
I'm sitting there thinking about the jokes they was cracking when people were getting thrown off the ships, the slave ships coming over. You see the way they fall into the water? Bloop.
Oh no. That will not be.
You might have to cut that.
Clip. That will not be a clip.
You might have to cut that one.
Yeah, that was. When you see Jerrell go, that might have been a line.
What was that? What were we
I
talking
do
about?
feel.
I
do feel like
and we were off to the side of the camera like this.
You ain't seeing me today.
Oh yeah, I do feel like just kind of like piggybacking on the whole conversation. Like I do love the fact that comedy is getting back to nothing's, not to say that nothing's off limits, but like when it comes to like cracking a joke or whatever, it's about the spirit, it's about the intention, it's about those kinds of things. And like the minute that you can recognize something for what it is and not have to put a whole bunch of like, oh well damn, you just erased all of Black history by telling that one. Did I? Yeah. No. Right. Let's grain of salt. Let's have a laugh. Right. And I can make that joke because I'm part of the community. But white people, no.
Say that.
Watch your mouth.
You cannot say that.
And then we'll close out today. The Australian Open is starting today. I love me tennis. Australian Open. But y'all know, I've said it so many times over the years on this podcast how I do not like Novak Djokovic. And again, he proves again, while he's just habitually very privileged. Like it annoys the shit out of me. And I can't take away from his talent. He is literally amongst the greatest of all time. He might be the greatest after this tournament. However, not if you say being is terrible. To try, like, you don't want to be vaccinated, boo on you. B, then you get COVID again and still go to these same events, like these publicity events with kids and shit like that, and then lie on your application to get into Australia of when you had it, and we got pictures of you at these events, and you still get to play? Fuck out of here, man. Yeah. Like, that shit is fucking annoying.
Yeah. I honestly, I used to be a big Novak Djokovic fan. Like a big Novak Djokovic fan. But it wasn't until like dating Fizz and meeting Fizz that I learned one about just Serbian people and how they did my fiance's people. But then two, like I start seeing him more for who he is and like the antics. Because that was I was like, he's cute, he tall, he got a body, apparently he got dick too, like, I'm like,
check.
Right. But now I didn't move the penis to the side and I'm just like, oh no.
It's like just a dick.
He's just a dick, and not one that you want to be fucked by.
No,
just a waste. I really hope that tennis starts cracking down on this. Like, I think about like one, the Williams sisters are, getting older and they're not playing an Australian Open. Like, I want to see some of these changes in tennis happen before they leave, or at least examples of them caring about all in tennis. Yeah. And it not just being so just, well, if you look white and you're a man, that's all that matters. You good. I want these things to start changing for this sport.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I do feel like there is a certain amount of what's the word I'm looking for? I don't maybe it's privilege, but I don't feel like that's the right word. But I do feel like for particularly like a lot of these these top tennis players, they recognize that part of them showing up means that participating in these events means that there's going to be more viewership, more coins that are coming to the individual opens, because people are coming there to see them. And when they don't show up, like for example, I probably won't be watching the women's tennis at all because Serena's not going to be playing. It doesn't mean that I don't support any of the other like people that are playing, but I predominantly watch for her.
Right.
And so when she's not playing, I don't feel like I'm not like super excited to watch all of the episodes and be staying up till like all the wee hours of the night to watch it and because that's
struggle.
That's a struggle, right? So like I feel like with some of these antics, they play that card because they also know that they're a draw for the crowd. So if they're not there, the vast number of top tier tennis players that aren't there means that you're not going to have the viewership, you're not going to have the patronage, you're just not going to have the show out that you want. And I think they play that to their advantage, and I think this is an example of that in action.
For sure. But yeah, no, like his half-ass statement, I am not a Novak fan. Team Rafa all day. I hope Medvedev beats him again if he gets to, I don't want Novak to win because it just enables him even more to continue to do this stuff. Like we've seen it the last few years, him just each year having something that just rubs people the wrong way, and he knows he can do it because he can get away with it. Like even at the beginning of COVID, literally had an event that was a super spreader event in the early days of fucking COVID. We saw him with the ball, like him throwing his rackets all the time, and then the tournament at the U.S. Open hitting the line woman in the throat and stuff. Yeah. And he could. Why are we cheering this human being on? Like I get we all make mistakes, and that's not what I'm saying. He's showing habitually that he does not care because he knows he could get away with it.
Yeah,
that's falsely get into a country when fucking Omarion's out here acting reckless, and that in Australia,
not Omarion.
In Australia was like one where they were pretty strict for a while, so people were like on lockdown for like a year and a half or some bullshit.
Not even for a while. They're still like Novak still had to quarantine with everybody else. Like
if I lived there, I'd be pissed as hell.
I would honestly, I'd be pissed. I hope if he ends up playing too, like. There's nothing but booze for that motherfucker. I hope that what I hope is he gets a point and there is not a single applause. I will love for them to be like this crickets.
I would love it not to show up, but I mean it sucks for the opponent. But it's just like
they only cheer for the opponent. They only cheer. There's not you can hear a pin drop.
Yes.
When he does anything, but when the opponent does, they lose their shit. That's what I'm
don't cheer for Djokovic. Like we need to start putting that hashtag out there.
Honestly, and I feel bad saying this though too. The only reason why I'm watching the Australian Open because I don't want Ash Barty to win.
Ash Barty.
I watch her play, and honestly,
I don't know how she's number one for the.
I don't either.
I don't know how she can beat these girls so handily. I'm like,
I don't.
Her tennis play is a little bit different than how everybody else is playing because, like, when you're used to training towards a certain kinds of players, and then when somebody else comes in who plays dramatically different than those other kind of players, it throws you off.
And she's very consistent. She doesn't beat herself. And a lot of women nowadays beat themselves. So I think that's why, like, she's just very solid. But
I love
agree.
that she's the type of player that she plays the long game. You know, like she
Absolutely.
no, I want to say the long game. I want to say the long point. Like she doesn't do like a typical 1-2 combo that you would see. She like, I'm gonna serve this and I'm gonna play these and it's like a game of chess.
Player.
Yeah, like you can see her being very strategic and technical the way that she plays, but it almost gets a little boring watching her play. Because I'm like, now you're just drawing this out for no reason. And like, and maybe it's just that maybe her but her tennis IQ is just so up there that it just allows her to be like 3-4 like movements ahead.
She's kind of like a new age Martina Hingis. When Martina Hingis was winning all them tournaments, I was like, how is she winning all these tournaments? Yeah. But she just outthinks the other player. And again, is she like, I'll stay here all damn day if I need to playing these percentage points. Honestly, I ain't gonna get tired.
Honestly, that's true.
And that's what Ash Barty is like, a new age version of that. She has a little more power than Martina did, but I agree. So like I don't dislike Ash, but she's a very boring player. Because she seems to get it. Like she seems to be, she speaks out and this and that. So like I like her in that regard. But yeah, she's not the flashiest of players, and you're like, So I want to see how Coco's aging. I want to see how Naomi's gonna look. She has that ab problem right now. She's ranked 13th, which it should be scary for people because that's when she come out swinging and winning.
Girl, shit. Serena is what, 38?
Serena ain't playing.
No, but I'm saying, but like, imagine when Serena comes back, she's like 38. She's in the 30s, almost 40s.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine?
That's if she comes back. Serena might be like, I might come back for like Wimbledon, give it one more hurrah, maybe Wimbledon US, give it 2 more hurrahs.
I can see
I'm
that.
out this bitch.
Yeah, I honestly wholeheartedly, I see her being like, I want to be in the best shape. I want to have no injuries. I want to be completely healed, and I'm gonna give it all for Wimbledon, and I'm gonna give it all for the US, her 2 favorites, and be out.
It's like I'm trying to get pregnant again. I'm trying to get Olympia some kids. Olympia some siblings. There we go.
Oh my god! Talk about celebrity kids. This is a hard turn. When Miss Tina posted that photo of her and Blue Ivy, I said, "How is Blue so?
Why is she a grown woman?"
I sit there
and the Balenciaga shoes on the beach. I was like, "That's money."
Look, and only 10 years old. I said, "How?"
Right.
I said, I firmly remember the Burley rub like it was the other day.
Yes.
You know?
We all feel like uncles and aunties and everything.
My gosh. For real.
I know Blue probably get tired of that across the world. We're like, we all your auntie.
She ain't gonna be able to do nothing. You know, Blue ain't gonna be able to do nothing. Look, girl. Don't make me tell your mom. No.
I know, poor Blue ain't gonna be able to.
She got a whole village that don't even know it.
Don't even know.
Look, a whole planet. Let's just be honest. Ain't a village. She got a whole planet. Don't even know it.
So Beyonce, we ready for an album? Beyonce, come on now. Yeah. We need a Beyonce album.
I need we'll get a Beyonce album? You think we'll get a Beyonce album before we get a Rihanna? Before we get a Rihanna album?
I think.
That's a good question. I think we'll get a Beyonce before Rihanna. Rihanna on this Fenty shit. Rihanna's like, fuck y'all.
There ain't really no incentive. Like, she may be like in the studio playing with stuff or whatever, but like, what's the point?
Kobe's still out here. She's like, I can't even tour, do nothing. No, I ain't getting no money from that. She's like, nah, I'm getting this makeup and this lingerie.
I don't know. I think Beyonce may be done for a while. I can see it. I can see it. I mean, honestly, what BDay itself is going to be Dangerously in Love is 20 years this year.
20, that's it, 2002.
Okay.
Wow. Or was it 2000?
Or was it 2004? No, I think it's 2002.
Let's look that up. That's a good question.
But I mean, like, that's almost, either way, it's 18 to 20 years. And she didn't put out 2003. Okay, so we got one more year. So it's close. You know,
but 19, damn.
Yeah, right.
She in college.
Okay.
She a sophomore, shit.
Right. This is different world cast number 2.
You know, I think she may just be like, I think she may focus, if she does music, it may be like more for like movies and like doing commercials and stuff. I think she's just gonna have fun more.
I
Like
think she got one more big one in her.
I
think
do.
she's
I
just
think so,
waiting.
too.
I think she's
I
just
think
waiting to
so,
be able to
too.
tour. Quite frankly, I think that's what she's
Yeah.
probably waiting.
Well,
She's like,
and yeah, and
like, I
I don't
can't
know,
do my
just
big arena shit when y'all got this Omarion shit going on. So she's like, nah, I'm gonna wait.
And she out there really enjoying that mommy life. You know, she
Yeah,
got them
true,
3
too.
kids, you know, like, you know, she and Kelly and, you know, everybody else out there, you know, being aunties with each other and, you know, living that big family, but let's go yachting life. So
yeah, she's
You know,
not
there's-
pressed. I mean, honestly, I don't think there's no reason for her
Yeah.
to put out something anytime soon.
Mhm.
Like, no.
But I do feel
Mm.
like she'll have. I think she's got longevity in the game. Like she'll be like
Oh, for
Janet
sure.
Jackson, you know, obviously
Yeah,
without
for
the
sure.
new
The
thing,
Janet
where
documentary
she'll be-
coming up too. I can't wait, bitch. I can't wait. I
Did
know
y'all
we
see her
like
on
way
the
over
cover
time, but
of-
I
was
can't
it,
wait.
Allure magazine.
Honey,
Yes,
looks-
the Allure magazine,
She
stunning.
Good.
I was on the
Face
couch when I saw. I was like, Corey, Janet looks fucking gorgeous.
Incredible.
So good.
Face beat,
Oh,
got
so
the little like fade, not the fade, but like the
Yeah,
you know
the
like
little
all
heart.
the,
Yeah.
Mhm.
just looking effervescent.
She's like, here's the behind the scenes of my Allure cover.
Uh,
Yes,
Uh,
Janet.
yes.
You think she's working on some new music?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so
totally
too. I think so
totally
too.
think so.
Yeah.
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 Like she's changed the style.
Who
Whenever
do you
she
think-
starts
who
changing the style, you're like, ooh, what's up?
Who do you think she would be? Who do you think she's collabing with?
Nobody. Still Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
You don't think so? No, I mean like other artists. Like obviously she collabed with
She would collab
Missy
with her.
Elliott.
She would collab with her. She would collab with her. And I think that she would collab with her because her is one of those R&B artists who like is not about the gimmick. She's about the artistry, you know, and she has no problem going rock or pop or R&B. She will give you like all sorts of stuff.
Janet
she's
will
a good
collab on
writer.
a remix. Janet doesn't really collab on her album. Like the only one that she did like a song with that was like
Missy.
song and not was Missy.
Was Missy.
Everyone
Was
else
Missy.
is like even the J.
And that
Cole
song was
Sleep
fire,
like
so-
oh, absolutely. Like Son of a Gun and the one from the last give me fuck I can't think of the song title right now.
Yeah.
But like she'll give you a remix with somebody.
Right. Yeah.
With the album, literally, outside of Missy, I don't think she's ever had a collab on her like album.
Even her
Yeah.
comeback album. Even her
she had
comeback
Kaya.
album.
Like that was the weird days with Jermaine Dupri days. That was the weird album.
Yeah.
Like she had Kaya and Nelly. Like that was a weird album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can totally see her doing it though. I watch her Instagram and how she's always like tweeting and sharing videos of different artists and other people and just everything now. Girl, we can hear you typing.
It's a
Sorry.
Yeah.
ASMR.
Right?
They be picking up everything.
But like just how she is like, and she's always talking about other artists who are up and doing everything right now and stuff like that too. Like I can totally see her collabing with somebody, and I think honestly it would be like her. I really do think it will be like literally her, because her can fit anything that she does. Her can do something along those lines. Even
I honestly don't want Janet to collab with nobody. I want Janet. Like I don't want nobody. It's like because she's damn near 56. Don't waste no more. I want Janet. Because girl, this might be the last album.
But see, but that's the reason why I want her to collab with someone else, because I want these young people to love her as much as we love her.
Yeah.
Like I'm not ready for her to be done. And honestly, collabing with other people just to kind of get back out there, do it. If that's gonna give us more Janet, do it, girl.
Do it.
I would love to see her do like a visual album. I would love to see her create music, but then also have like a story that she's telling that you can just literally watch from beginning to end, and it just all flows. Like I would love that, because I feel like part of Janet's impact has been the visual presentation of her music and her artistry. You know, everybody knows, no matter how old you are, dun, 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 you start in your head, you know, you start doing whatever. So like, I would love to see, like, you know, Janet in her grown ass woman-ness, right? You know, with whatever, you know, that's inspiring her and whatever. I would love to see a visual album that accompanies that, because could you imagine that shit dropping on HBO?
I'd be like, bitch.
And the streams and like, and the kind of artist that she has worked with and partnered with and knows within her circle or whatever, that could come up with something that's really like, I would love to see that.
So Janet, come on, give it to us, boo. Give it to us, Janet. Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. Come on, one more. You got one more in you.
Yeah.
But
she got a whole bunch.
Did y'all also hear about that Brandy and Mariah collab that's coming out too?
No.
Yes, bitch. It has been confirmed by Mariah Carey herself.
Oh, Mariah the Carey.
Yes.
Okay.
Has confirmed to herself that Brandy approached
It's gonna
her
have
about
some
doing a
crazy
song.
ass backgrounds, because they're
And
gonna have fire
that they are,
backgrounds.
that they are,
Them vocals.
bitch.
Ah,
Bitch.
yes. Them ad-libs are going to be on T.
Honey,
Yes.
yeah. I'm here for
I
it.
can't wait.
Yeah.
But well, community, we gave you an extra long episode this week, bitch. Stay safe. Wash your hands, wash your legs, wash your ass. See you next week.
Bye, y'all. That was a limp wrist goodbye that I gave.
Bye, y'all.